Okay, so just coming in this morning, nothing really looks good if I'm being real. Uh, MRIN is just sideways as of now. It faded off pre-market here. It did have a nice gap. Nothing crazy, but I don't know. It's just been fading off, kind of just sideways at this point. It is somewhat a change in momentum, but for it to really change here, it'd have to break this level, in my opinion. It'd have to break through basically 450 for me to look interested in it to the long side. Let me see. Yeah, and then after that, 480, and then from there, 5. Those would be like the best spots to get in, or not get in, but the best spots to show that it has a lot of strength in it. But right now, it's just selling off. Or not selling off, it's just sideways and kind of fading out from the highs pre-market. So besides that, we have ear. We just watched this one yesterday. Not really sure what's going on with this one. It's just continuation, I guess, but not really because the daily doesn't look the best. Same situation with this one. It made a nice climb pre-market here, and then now it's just selling off. It's kind of just sideways. Let's see, what else do we have? MGTA is another one. Literally 115. I don't know why this is on my scans. 115 pre-market in volume. Nothing crazy going on in here. I don't know. If this is all we got here, this is pretty sad. IMBT is also popping on the scans. This one doesn't look too bad actually. 10 minutes not completely there, but this one looks like it has some momentum to it. 6-cent spread right now. I'm gonna give it a 10-cent spread kind of estimation here. So this one's not too bad. Let's check out another one. Swim popping on the scans. I don't like the daily on this one. It's right at it's 200. Major resistance there. I don't know. Ear selling here. Sideways at the moment. See if we get the break of 7 and if it can hold over 710. If we can break back above view up, that'll look nice actually. IMVT popping on scans again. Go back to ear. I like that all its moving averages, all its MACDs are kind of looking like they're gonna curl here pretty soon. At least the 10-minute looks like it wants to, as well as the 5-minute. Well, the 1-minute for sure looks like it wants to curl, and that's the only reason I'd be taking a trade down here. Also because it's holding 690, it hasn't broken lower yet, which I'm surprised about. So like here, I could have got in for the break of 7. See if we get that break and a surge through 710 here. 709. Hit view up to the penny. See if it can continue. 702. So it's showing a little weakness here below VWAP. Back down to 96. I think this one's a false break. We can still see the break of 710, I believe, but this one's just a false break. Choppy price action here. ABSI is also popping on the scans. Not sure what's going on with this one. This one was not on my scans for some reason. This one doesn't look bad at all. Well, pre-market it didn't look so bad. Similar to ear, all the MACDs are on the potential curl setup, which would look really nice, but right now it's just kind of sideways, fading out. Go back to ear. This one made a big move there. Nice rip. Again, that unknown pattern is right here. Hammer, inverted hammer doji, and then a surge and break through the last 1 minute high. Unfortunately, I couldn't get this one on recording. That'd have been nice to see. So the 5 minute MACD looks like it's curling here. I would love to take an entry. I mean, even my entry back then at 95, let's just say, would still be working out. So, I mean, I'd still be up. BBBY is popping on the scans again. Nice. Wasn't on my scans today, but so I like that this thing broke. It's like at VWAP right now. I like that it broke, but right now it seems like it's having a hard time holding VWAP, or at least breaking above and holding that level. It seems to be slowing down, especially in volume here. There's like no volume, even though the MACD crossed here. There's like it crossing that break, but there's no momentum in it yet. So there's finally a move from 706 all the way to 720 now. So there's a move. Quick snap to 730 all the way back down to 7 though. So I already don't like how this one's trading. Had a nice break on the 5 minute and then a massive rejection. So I don't like to see that. ABSI curling on the 1 minute. It broke its 5 minute low and now it's popping back up here. Unless this is just a pullback. It's a potential pullback, most likely. Because it didn't pull back enough on the 5 minute. And the 10 minute still down, so I think this one's gonna pull back a little bit more. Okay, so for me to remain interested in ear here, It doesn't look terrible, but for me to stay interested, it has to finish high on both the 5 and 10 minute. The 10 minutes about to open, or yeah, the new 10-minute candle is going to open here in about a minute and 30 seconds. So it needs to finish high. I'd like to see it finish around 7:15, potentially 7:20, but it'd have to finish around that level for me to feel confident that it can break its high and hold above, potentially go to 750. But right now it's just having a hard time breaking any of its levels here. It doesn't give me a lot of faith, but the 5-minute MACD is crossing here. It's curling, I mean, so this looks really good. Like I could get in here at, let's just say 7-11. I'll get in at 7-11 and we'll see what this next 5 minutes gonna do. Because I do think that the 5-minute candle can break its high on the MACD. That'd be my overall target. Would be like 7:30. So we'll have to wait for this one. The momentum's kind of dying out right now, but I'm still break even on this trade. I'm not in, obviously. It's just an imaginary one, but if I were to take it, I mean, it's like a break even trade right now. I'd overall be losing based on commissions and a couple cents, but I'd still be holding most likely for the what is it called? the 5-minute high break. Although it looks like it's gonna break through 7 here, unfortunately. I'd have to stop out with a loss. But I still like the MACD here. So I'd still be holding it. There's 14, 16, 19. And I'd probably sell in the 20s if it popped to the 20s, just because of how this one fakes out all the time. If it made a massive surge in this candle, it makes no sense. And I would most likely sell into that rip there, just because it made no sense. But let's see if we can get back in the 20s here. There's 18. Want to see 19 and then 20. If not, we can wait for this next 1 minute. This next 1 minute is going to open here. So I might have gotten a little too early. I could have bought the dip at 7:02. Let's see what this next 1 minute's going to do. Is it going to snap through 7:20 and see a potential rip to 7:30 again? That'd be my overall target. 7:15, 17, 18. There it is. And I'd sell right there most likely. 27. So I might have sold early because it can potentially break its 5-minute high right here, which it looks like that's what it's gonna do. 34, yep. So I most likely would have sold a little too early, but 34 is what it was showing right there for a second. Broke its 5-minute high, MACD crossed, and the 10-minute MACD looks like it was about to cross here. So this could have been a really nice trade. Again, I would have gotten early pretty much on this candle, I think. But I mean, it would have been worth a good amount. Sold at 27, bought in at 11. That's about what, 16 cents. So nothing wild, but let's just say 1,000 shares is $160. I wouldn't have taken 1,000 shares, but just a perspective, I guess. Half of that would be $80 on 500 shares, which I most likely would have taken, just because it's not a huge mover here. But I do like how it's holding up so far. It's holding its levels. Everything looks good so far. It's above VWAP. 5 and 10 minute looks strong right now. Let's just hope we don't get another massive rejection like it did earlier. A massive false break. That would suck. So I like this candle so far. I like the setup so far. It's a small pullbacks, as of right now at least. Small pullback towards VWAP. Could potentially buy the dip at VWAP 709. In anticipation for the next 5-minute high to break again. Or the next, well, yeah, the next 5 minutes, because the next 10 minute doesn't open until 6.5 minutes from now. I would like to see this touch VWAP or break this 1 minute low like that, buy the dip, and then see a potential curl back to the highs of 30 or a potential rip through 50. But the way that the 5 minute has these 3 wicks so far, I don't like that. Shows that it can pop, but it's not holding any level, and that makes me a bit nervous. So I'd get in here at 19, and I'd want to see a potential rip through its last 1 minute high, but this one I can potentially give back on this trade. High here is 22, and that's what I'd be going for, but right now it doesn't look so hot for me if I were to get in on this one. There's a break at the 1 minute low, so it would have definitely been an early entry. Should have bought the dip on this one instead at 713. So similar to this imaginary trade here, I would have been a little too high, but this one I'm not too off. 719 compared to 713. It's not too far off. 6 cents. There's 720. If it were to rip on this candle, then I'd just get out of the trade. Okay, so the 720. Let's see if we get that break. Potential rip to 727. There's a market order all the way at 709 there for a second. Could take another 1 minute candle to set up properly. And then probably stop out here with the 9 cent loss, just because of how the MACD's curling on the 1 minute or crossing here doesn't give me much confidence. I wanted to see this one break its 1 minute high, or at least finish high. So if I did get in at 713, that would have been a nice trade all the way to 719, but I don't know, didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So there's a breakthrough 7 finally. And now we're going to see a reverse or a change in pattern here. So like I had mentioned earlier, we get all these wicks. It didn't give me much confidence that this had a lot of strength. And that's why I lost in this imaginary trade here. I'm not surprised. So let's see, IMVT moving higher here. This one's real choppy though. It's not really moving. BKKT. IMMX. JWEL. BLI. BBBY. Oh. So I like the 1 minute here on BBBY. The only thing I don't like is the 1 minute MACD. I think it's just going to continue on downtrend. Maybe make a quick pop here and then like a small pullback above VWAP, and then it's going to break even lower. Because the 1 minute MACD needs to cross here. Let's check what the overall SPY is doing. So the SPY is kind of bouncing today off its averages. which is good. Had a massive rejection here earlier, 780. Oh, I don't know why that changed. From, well, about 780 all the way to 468. So not a huge drop or anything, but the market's kind of been sideways in this range here for a while now. Kind of sucks. I would like to see some more momentum though in the small caps. That's crazy though, because a couple of years ago it was all the way down at 300 something. I remember, and I was looking for that 300 break a long time ago, and then we broke it, and then had the coronavirus drop, right? And then boom, it surged all the way back up. That was a crazy time. But now we're about to break 500. That's insane. So that's gonna be big. ABSI. Year. So yeah, the market this past 2 weeks has been like really slow, just super trash. And I'm glad, like I mentioned in the last video, that I took a step back here to realize what I'm doing right or wrong, or just take a step back and look at what the market's doing, because most likely I would have still been trading and losing right now, because I wouldn't take that time to understand what's going on. Now that I see how trashy the market is right now, for small caps at least, it's just not, it's not there. I don't know. GME bounced, I don't know why. AMC 24. What about NKLA? Curious about this one. Yikes. Ever since that news came about the CEO of this company, this one's just been flopping. Surprisingly though, the news came out when it was trading around $9, and then it surged all the way to 12 for whatever reason. I don't know why that happened, but that's weird. Let's check on Facebook. Facebook, I was considering yesterday, when I had seen it all the way down, how low it opened. I was so surprised that it opened that low. I was considering buying at 322, which was the very bottom of the stock. I would go back on here, but it was the very bottom, 322. And that thing ripped yesterday. It made a massive move from 322 all the way to the high of 339. That in one day would have been a massive move in an options account. Unfortunately, I didn't take it. I just watched it. But, you know, and again, I sold way too early on my position here. I sold out of my position at 331 or something like that, 150, somewhere around there. And this thing went all the way down to 322 and opened at a low of 322 the next day. Like, I could have made bank. I think when I checked on it that same day, I put in 275, and then it was up to like 680 or something on my contract. I was like, Jesus. So that one, I could have made a good amount of money in that account, but I didn't hold that long, unfortunately. Dogs just got halted here. I really don't like its daily though. That's a nasty daily. So anyway, with that being said, I have enough data to review everything and see what's going on in the small cap world at least. And I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, analyze what I can and see where the potential trades can be taken in a slow market such as this one, where I should get in, and what kind of strategy I should be, you know, adjusting to in markets such as these. And I guess I'll try my best to come out with the trade review this weekend. I have nothing really going on, so most likely it will come out this weekend. Yeah, finally, right after 2 months of talking about it. So this one's gonna be a pretty lengthy one, but I'm not gonna make it like an hour and a half or something long. I'm gonna try to keep it short, relatively short, and give an overall summary of what happened in the year that I've been trading so far, what my P&L is overall, like from my start till now, and how things are going, what I can do moving forward, and I guess new rules or new ideas set, I guess, going forward. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead and check that out, and I will see you guys next week.